To start your statistics project, you should have all of your group members open up a Google document like I have here and then share it with all partners so that way all three of you can be working on the same document at the same time. That way, like for example, one person could be typing the introduction page, another person could be typing the experiment, and a third person could be doing, actually, data is already done. Maybe the third person could be doing the calculations. Okay? So let's see, what is the introduction about? It's basically a paragraph that gives an introduction about the project. You should describe the experiment. What is it about? What's your topic that you have chosen? Okay, why did you choose this topic? Why is it interesting to you? Maybe let's pretend your topic was about do people prefer iPhone over Android? So make a prediction. Do you think more people like iPhone or Android? Okay, so this is kind of the basic for the introduction. Another person could be typing the experiment. Basically, the experiment section is it explains exactly what the team did step by step. So basically, how did you come up with this experiment? What did you survey? Like, how did you come up with the questions? How did you write up the questions and cut up the strips? Where did you find your participants? You could say, I went to Miss McClure's class or Mr. Cedeno's class, and I got middle school students or high school. So basically, describe your subjects. Why did you choose them? Who are they? Where did you find them? Okay, and how did you give them the survey questions? So that's what the experiment section is about. The data section you've already done. You made the two tables, the frequency table, the tally table. Well, some of you might want to retype that so that it's digitally on your Google document rather than on paper. Okay? You can create a table to do that. Then this section here called the calculations. Everyone must be involved in this calculation. You do not make one person do this part. So there are four calculations here. One person does number one, a different one do number two, and a different person does number three. And then one person will have to do number four. Just basically, you get to make up your question and then do the calculation and write the answers. And this calculation has to be a union question. Number two has to be an intersection question. And number three has to be a conditional probability question. And it's actually two questions in here. All right, again, these questions are related to your experiment. It's not about iPhone or Android. That's my experiment. Last, someone needs to type the conclusion. Basically, you analyze the data and you come up with the conclusion. So, what did you find? Was iPhone more popular? Or was it Android that was more popular? Okay, and provide some possible explanations. Why do you think this happened? Why did one particular phone was more popular than the other? Okay, so that's the conclusion. And then the evaluation part is where you as a group kind of make a judgment. How well did you do this experiment? Were your results surprising, or maybe they weren't? Why or why not? Did anything go? Were there any glitches in your experiment? Like sometimes, you know how oopsie, never mind. You know how some participants wrote strange things on your strip? It kind of threw a wrench in your experiment. You had to redo and ask another person. Yeah. So talk about things that didn't go well or things that did go well. And also, what would you do differently if you were to redo this experiment another time? So basically, have all that done, and then you would turn in the paper. If the whole paper is done digitally and there's nothing on physical paper, you can just share the document with me and turn it in that way. But if you would rather do it on real paper, then print out the whole thing and then staple it and submit it to me on paper. Okay? And that's it. So have fun working on your project.